to help me here. He's not helping at all. He's just sitting here drinking coffee. He came in on the noon, was it the noon balloon or the bus?
No, it was the 10:30 bus from Douglas County. They got some cowboys on that bus, partner.
Yeah. You told me what the bus driver looked like, but we won't say nothing
We're
right
not
now.
going into the bus driver story. I think we're here to talk about my new album.
Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this new album. And there it is right there. Check it out. KUHS Denver, we're going to bring you the entire album. We're going to play it in the background as we talk. And, we're going to start off with just talking about a lot of things before we do anything.
Sure.
And Rob, I mean, come on, you had all kinds of fun stuff traveling. And we talked about this on the last time you were here. And
the road, baby.
Oh, my God. That's got to be something else. But you know how to do that kind of stuff, right?
Well, I started it when I was pretty young, and then I went to high school at Lincoln High in Denver. And it's interesting too because we're playing in Boulder on Saturday night for the CD release at Full Cycle Cafe. But I remember going up to Boulder in college, and the music scene in Boulder was so great. And that was a road trip then. You know, if you're going to go from like Lakewood all the way up to Boulder, ooh, we're going all the way to Boulder, right? But I remember playing with Bobby Rangel and his sister at the Wall Street Jazz Cellar, and then my band with Laura Newman. When we did the Red Shoes album, we would play at a place that was called the Blue Note. There was Tulagi up there. The great band Rare Silk, the four singers that did so well, they were from up there. My bass player Marty Ruddy, who's on this album, he was from up in Boulder. And so, you know, it was a local thing. As you do more stuff, you kind of widen your circle. So I started going from different cities in Colorado down to New Mexico, and then from New Mexico to Arizona, then Arizona to LA. And then once I got settled in LA, then it was a whole different life. I mean, I met some amazing players, and then the first place that we started going to was Japan. And that was really fun. Those bands had Indugu Chancellor on drums and Phil Upchurch on rhythm guitar, who played on all that early George Benson stuff, Wilton Felder from the Crusaders on saxophone, and Nate Phillips on bass. It was quite the thing. So yeah, I don't mind traveling even at this point in my life. I really like to travel. I'm traveling right now. My last kind of wild or exotic or long thing was I played in India the first week of May with Hubert Laws, and that's pretty far. I don't know if you can go much further than 9,800 miles.
I'm getting a call right now.
Okay.
Hello? I need your credit card number, Mr. Rob Mullins. That's really wrong of me to do that.
That was
India.
That was really mean.
That was mean as they come, but India is so spectacular, and everybody looks at it a different way. They are moving big time into the area of, not only technology, but they also, their financial areas, everything is so good.
Music scene,
and even the way it looks, the
food culture
is on point.
The spiritual awareness. It's an amazing place to go. And fortunately for me, I've been in Hubert Laws' band for a really long time, and Hubert is one of those musicians who is so accomplished and so well known around the world that we get to do really cool stuff, like we're not flying Spirit Airlines for 28 hours. Can you imagine Spirit Airlines for 28 hours?
That was mean.
That was almost like the trip from Douglas County on the bus today. Felt like it was, but we fly Emirates Airlines when we go to India, which is an amazing thing. If you've never flown that airline, just start saving your money now, because it's more expensive than Disneyland. And Disneyland is a lot,
You know, I was just talking to a gal about spending her money at Disneyland. I go, why? Why did you go give all that money away to what? Just go on a cruise on a ship, Disneyland?
Yeah, that's another story. But let's play some music and we'll talk more about anything you want.
Dude?
Let's start with track one. It's called Body and Soul. And This features Brian Bromberg on bass and Joel Taylor on drums.
Now, what we can do right here, we can continue talking, and then I'll move it up high, like you said, listen to it for a second, and kind of scale it back.
Cool, man.
So, Rob, I mean, listen to this music. You're so accomplished now because, you know, when you're younger, you're good and all that stuff, but as you progress in life and your talent it's polished. And I'm talking highly polished. Listen to this. We're going to move it up so we can talk about it as we listen to it.
Yeah, man.
Now, Rob.
Yes, sir.
Now, when you developed this song right here, you know, you're playing in what key right here?
This is in D flat major.
And where are you doing sevenths, ninths?
7, 9, 13, 11th sometimes, but this is a jazz classic. It's an old standard called Body and Soul, and it's always in the past been done as a ballad pretty much.
And you know, it's this kind of song, you know, would fit any kind of elegant kind of supper club. If you're having dinner at a wedding, any kind of a high-end kind of
country club, supper club. That's what we're playing at on Saturday night, the Full Cycle Supper Club.
That's going to be good. Let's talk about that real quick and get
Okay.
the word out. And so tell us about that.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to happen this Saturday. The seating is at 6:30, and the first show starts at 7 o'clock, which is going to be great. And tickets are $20 in advance. Full Cycle Cafe and Bar. You can find them online. You can find them on Facebook, on my page. You can find them in the local Boulder entertainment listings, which is fantastic. And then the first show starts at 7. And I have some special guests that are going to come by.
Ooh, that's going to be
so
nice. We'll
talk more about that then. But yeah, it's basically, the album is Rob Mullen's trio album, so we're going to be featuring a lot of the trio music and stuff from the new album.
Yes. You know, when you put on shows, Rob, and I don't care how many shows you've done in your life, you know, every show gives you the butterflies in some way or another. You get happy, you get excited. And when you go into these shows, especially Dazzle, or if you're going to do a big show like the 5 Points Jazz or whatever,
right,
you always get this good feeling inside you before you hit the 88s.
Yeah, I mean,
come on, Rob.
It's just like just, you know, remembering a bunch of stuff and looking forward to stuff that's coming up. There's always a thrill when you can hear yourself on the radio, or you hear yourself on a stream, or you have a big crowd out there. I mean, some of the gigs we've done with Hubert, there's 10, 15,000 people out there.
And their energy alone,
the energy is,
right?
Yeah, the energy is really incredible. So I really enjoy it, man. I mean, it's still exciting, even though I've been doing it so long.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. That's it. And I know this about you, Rob, because you put your life, your heart, everything into this. Now, you were at KUVO doing a set about this kind of stuff.
Right.
Arturo and your friend. Tell us about your friend. He is such an exciting person. He always brings the best out on you on KUVO.
Oh, Paul Donovan.
See, you were like lost. It's right in that bus. That's what the problem
Paul
is.
Donovan is great, man. Yeah, KUVO had me last summer for one of their special events, which was a live in their new studio broadcast of my trio last summer. So and that's a cool thing, man. It's like a studio audience, and they have a great piano over there, and the whole shebang, and then Paul hosts that show.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we kind of banter back and forth, and then the band plays. And you can find that on YouTube. It's Rob Mullins KVO.
And what's nice about their place, and they were bought up by the PBS, big, huge. They got some backing, and they made these studios phenomenally nice.
Yeah, they're really nice.
The only thing, and I think that they're trying to get it beefed back up, get people in there, get it going again. That was hard by start, because it was after COVID and all that stuff, and it sat everybody down. And so,
man, COVID was brutal, but we're on the other side of it now.
That's right.
So it's pretty exciting to just be
out and about.
You know, even if I'm in heavy traffic or riding the bus somewhere, it's a lot better than sitting in your house with a mask on. Yeah, going, oh, I'm not allowed to eat, talk, do anything. I've got to go get these. No, you got to go get these shots all the time, the vaccines and all that stuff. It's horrible.
You know, Rob, we got track number 2 is coming up next, and we're going to play that in the background. We're going to keep going, the whole album.
Let's do it.
You agreed to it. You said, yeah, let's play the whole album, Henry. That's okay, right?
No problem, man. Yeah, the next tune is a different version of my trio, and this is kind of more like a swanky, high society. This other track is a little more in concert, but this one is a bit more, say, classic jazz.
Nice.
And it's called Moonlight in Vermont. That's track 2.
That's coming up next. Moonlight in Vermont. What made you pick Vermont? You've been back there, right? You have family there.
No, it's a jazz standard, so I didn't write it. I didn't write the song.
We exposed Rob.
I guess they could call it Moonlight in New Mexico. Moonlight in...
Do you like New Mexico? That's the land
I
of
love New Mexico.
Here we go.
Down there
Moonlight in New Mexico, Vermont. Jeez, Rob. You know, every time you come on, you always change the flux of it all. It's so simply and easily, and you make everybody laugh. You're an enjoyable person. Even when you're on stage, you bring the crowd alive with everything. Here we go.
We're trying to have fun.
Track number 2, right? We're going to play it up. We're going to turn it up for you. So you can hear it in here and out there.
Definitely on the classic side.
What type of piano you're on?
The one in the studio.
So you're playing on the studio piano right here to record.
Let's see, this was I think this was a Steinway.
Steinway. Yeah, usually the
Steinway, Yamaha is pretty much all
Yamaha. Yeah, always inside those studios. They give such incredible, the vibration. You got the sounding board on those pianos that, it just puts out that really clean, clear, crisp sound. But of course, it's Rob Mullins. This is track number 2.
Yeah, Moonlight, Vermont.
Moonlight in New Mexico. You're the one who brought that up. And it's like, okay, I'm in.
This is swinging really hard. I love it.
Now, when you select your drummer to do some of these albums, do you go after a certain drummer to give you?
Are the mics on?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're on.
You want to turn that down a little bit so you talk over that?
So we're going to talk about.
You were saying about how do I pick drummers or something? Yeah. Well, this is a anthology album of 40 years of different bands, different trios. So, I think jazz trio, classic piano trio is the favorite of mine. It's the favorite of a lot of people. And what I've always done since I was a little kid is just be fascinated with audio. So I would record stuff everywhere I went. I started out with a little reel-to-reel recorder when I was a kid, then I had a cassette player, and then I moved to a 4-track and went on from there. So with all these various incarnations of my bands, I've had all kinds of different bass players and drummers, and I would just, depending on usually whatever the studio opportunity was, I would get that particular group and try and get recorded, or just bring mics down to a nightclub. This happened to be a studio session we did in LA. That's Will Lyle on bass, who's an incredible bass player, doing really well. He's Ron Carter's protege, and Nico Salvadore on the upright.
Is this track number 3?
Track 2. Now we're on
track
3.
Yeah, we're on 3. So we want to talk about 3.
Oh, 3 is Brian Bromberg playing the most amazing upright bass solo in the history of bass. So we should actually listen to this one. Yeah, turn it up and let this play all the way through.
I'm going to go ahead and turn down the mics so we can talk about this live. So if you're listening to it on your radio, you could also watch us live about this particular song.
Coming up to the bass solo, we got to turn it back up in 30 seconds.
Oh my God, that bass player is all.
And you got his solo's coming up. You got to turn it back up.
I'm gonna go back on. We want to talk about that real quick.
Here it comes, right now, bass. That's on a stand-up.
Wow.
Okay, you can turn it back down. That's an original tune of mine that I composed. Brian Bromberg on the bass, Joel Taylor on the drums. Recorded in Hollywood, California. He's just insane, right?
You both were.
I mean, it was like Eddie Van Halen hammer-ons on an upright bass or something.
That was incredible. We caught that just in time and introduced it just in time, so you can catch that. And don't forget, the album is available
on Saturday night.
That's right. Come and check him out.
Yep, Saturday night, Full Cycle Cafe and Bar. First show at 7 o'clock. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I've got a great trio. We're going to have some special guests. And I'll be selling the CDs at the event. They're not going to be available to purchase online. And the streaming version of the album is not online yet.
And that's good to do it that way, right?
Yeah, it's going to be in the probably next week or so. Okay. So yeah, you ready for a little Latin jazz now?
Oh, that's what you got next.
Let's do some cha-cha-cha.
Serious.
This is an original tune of mine. This is a fun song for lunch.
So we're going to
Happy lunchtime, everybody.
Yeah, it's the lunchtime edition of the Smoothie Jazz Show.
Yeah,
So we're going to
crank
get
it
this
up.
going. So, this song is so well put together. Rob knew what he was doing when he put this together. He knew who he was after and who he wanted to go. See, all the stations that carry this type of kind of really good jazz, the Latin flavor.
It's a Latin flavor, man. Latin jazz.
You could drink your tequila and your tequila sunrises all day long. And
all day long.
You'll be drunk by the end of the album.
If that's what you want to do. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because in all the different types of music I've done, in the radio charting and the Billboard sales and all that silliness, my biggest, most popular tunes are sambas, bossa novas, tangos, and cha-chas.
Wow.
Even more than the swing, because what we listened to on the jazz was like that straight ahead jazz, they call it upswing. But cha-chas, I listened to a lot of Latin music. I learned to play music playing Latin beats on the drums.
Wow.
I had an expert Latin teacher in LA when I was first growing up, and we would sit there and we'd do the rumba for a half hour, and then we'd work on a tango, and then I'd come back the next week and he would say, nope, do it some more. But it's a great way to learn music if you're just coming at it from, if you're going to start with any foundation or aspect of music. Most people start with melody. I didn't. I started with the groove, which is learning rhythm. And rhythm is so important, because if you've got rhythm and you understand how that works in the first place, then you're way more capable of playing in a band or with other people. Because a lot of pianists, in fact, many students of mine that have come in, don't really have a good sense of rhythm and time. So they have trouble going from a solo piano thing into playing in a jazz trio or an ensemble.
And getting it going, right?
Yeah, so the time, but here you can feel the grooves right there. But you need to learn how to count that stuff and feel it. And what's great about the Latin music is there's a dance associated with every beat.
With it. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Right?
Yeah, it's always there. You got to have it.
So.
Did you ever see that movie, Sense of a Woman? He talks about dance and music and how they went exclusively together to do the bossa nova, or you do the rumba, or whatever you did. Like this one is a specific, like you just said, a dance to go with.
This is a cha-cha. And then I've got a tango on here, which is like 5 or 6 tracks from now. And then, of course, the world's most classic bossa nova, A Girl from Ipanema, is towards the end.
Serious?
Yeah.
Wow. We used to like to hear that song a lot. A lot of people would request that song, not too much anymore.
Well, after they hear this version, they're going to hear it every day.
Yeah, they're going to say, can you play that song?
Absolutely.
By Rob Mullins. And Rob Mullins' trio is going to be demonstrating all these
different grooves.
Yes, here at, what's the name of the place again?
Full Cycle Supper Club, Cafe, and Bar. It's on 30th Street in Boulder, Colorado. And now we're going to do a ballad. And this one, I think everybody knows this. This is lovely. It's called Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Song you go ask a fine-looking lady to dance close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took him a second. He had this picture of this beautiful woman. Hi, Rob.
Well, this is a romantic tune, from The Wizard of Oz, and it's about people's hopes and dreams. It's a very sincere you know. And Dorothy was stuck in Kansas, so who wouldn't want to get out? Right? Nothing against you Kansas people out
Yeah,
there.
it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I recorded this one, and by the way, everything on the album is live. It's either live in the studio or it's live at a club or an outdoor festival. So that means, you know, for all you people that produce your music on the computer with these workstations and stuff, in these kinds of situations, you don't get another chance. You don't do 2 takes. You don't come back and fix the wrong note or change the pitch of a vocal or remove a drum beat and add a new one. This is all live. So whatever happens, they record it to a left channel and a right channel, and that's what goes out.
You know, as I said earlier.
It's old school.
Yeah, as I said earlier when we first came on, Rob Mullins is highly polished. That's why you can do this kind of thing. Not everybody can do this, Rob. When you're highly polished, you know, you've become who you are in time, and you've done a lot of things. Listen to that. That's highly polished. Lord have mercy.
That sounded pretty good. That sounded pretty good right there. I like that. It's pretty good, yeah.
You understand what
But you know
I'm
what?
trying
A
to
lot
tell
of
you.
practice goes into it. I mean, people that aren't musicians or aren't in music school or whatever, just will say normal people, it can be hard to communicate to them how much work goes into actually being able to play that. You know, to be able to do those runs. And I think it was what maybe Willie Mays, the baseball player that just died, he said, you know, work on all your fundamentals, practice with all the focus and attention that you can, and then when you go to the ballpark, or in my case, the concert stage, just have fun and play.
That's right.
Because it's a combination of all that work and then, you know, your creative
Skills.
spirit and the audience too. Yeah.
And sometimes you can go with the chromatic scale back and forth and input a few other things that all of a sudden come to you at the event.
Right,
And I've seen
improv.
you do that. You know, when you improv, I'm hearing you play and I'm thinking, where did that come from? You're just, you've done that many a time. Tell us about that.
Jazz is an improvisational
You felt it
art
somewhere
form.
inside you that this was.
Well, you're reacting to what the other players are playing.
And so you
you're
give it
reacting to
accents
the
and all that
audience.
stuff.
And in my cases, a lot of times I will have practiced something very specific to bring to the gig to try.
Yeah, to try it out.
And
Can they keep up sometimes? They say, where did this come from?
well, I always tell on some of the more challenging tunes, I always tell the bass player and the drummer, just do not listen to what I'm doing at all. Just count the beats, count the time, know where you are
And
in
make
the
sure
song
you-
form.
yeah.
Don't lose your place, because I may go to outer space.
That's what I was telling you.
I love
I've
going
heard
to
you
outer
do-
space,
I've
man.
seen you do that several times.
It's
I
so
said,
fun.
where is he going? Well, listen to that. You know, you go.
You go to a whole other metaphysical kind of reality.
And yeah, and you just start
And
wailing away and you take it there.
it's really fun. Yeah, but
And they're trying not to look up at you. I can see that. They're just like,
well, you have
wow.
to look up to figure out where the cue is to stop playing. But yeah, these are good guys that are going to be on the gig this weekend. It's BK Khan, who's done Dazzle with me a few times, and then Tony Golden on Upright. And Joe Andrews, who's a good buddy of mine that I've introduced and brought to you before, is going to join us and play some sax. Now, this tune is Für Elise by Beethoven, which was that kid song that everybody tried to learn.
Yeah.
So I jazzed it up. And let's take a listen to Für Elise, the Rob Mullins way. much of it's available in sheet music on my website, by the way. Now here's the jazzy part, where we kind of go off and start doing other things.
Nice stuff here, Mr. Rob Mullins.
Yeah, man.
It's like, whoa. You know, we will do another 5-10 minutes, and then we're going to have to cut it because we have another show coming on right after this talking about caregiving, which is really touching.
Oh, cool.
And it's going to follow your show, which, you know, we give them some really good stuff here and then go into the caregiving. But I want to also do as many, you know, a couple more if we can. I want to make sure we catch Girl from Ipanema.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's towards the end. That's
Which one is it?
number 15.
So I'll put it close to up here so we can another 9 minutes we'll go. But I'm going to play the rest of your album. So if you want to check it out, you know, we're live on the radio portion where you can hear the entire rest of the album as we cut off of our live
video feed.
Yeah, talking to Rob Mullins. And he's going to be out Saturday night at the
Full Cycle Cafe and Bar. It's at 2355 South 30th Street in Boulder. So you can look that up. And it's a cycle shop during the day, huge place. And then at night they turn it into a summer club on the weekend. 2355 30th Street, Boulder, Colorado. First show is at 7 o'clock. So we'll look forward to seeing as many of your listeners as possible there.
Now we've got Girl from Ipanema song going to be coming up here shortly. And we're going to go, before that we got track number 8 next. Track number 7 is playing now, and then track number 8.
I think it's Georgia on My Mind is on now.
Oh, really? So,
Yeah, I think so. Turn it up a little
yeah,
bit.
I was gonna.
Yeah, that's Georgia, baby. Oh yeah, man. This is the blues tune of the record. And this is featuring Boulder bass player Marty Ruddy and drummer Larry Thompson. This is the oldest of all the tunes in this anthology project. Turned out great. "12/8 Blues, Georgia on My Mind."
You are tickling those ivories, aren't you?
Yeah, tickling that. Now, by the way, Henry, did you want to give away a couple of tickets to the show?
Oh, you bet.
All right, so you handle that the way you always do.
A couple of tickets, and I'm going to do it near the end of the show or even after the show because
We'll do it any time between now and Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
we
just
got a
let
few
you know,
days.
yeah.
And just let
Which is
me
a
know
pair,
who
right?
it is.
A pair of tickets.
Yeah, 2 tickets to Rob Mullins Trio CD release party, Full Cycle Cafe, Boulder, Saturday night at 7. So Henry will get with you on the details, whether he wants you to come down and do belly dancing in a contest or throw a paper airplane in his direction or just call in on the phone or however you want to do it.
Now, what's so interesting about this, though, we talked about Juliet, the queen, going down to your place.
Right.
She hit me up the other morning, early.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, did she feel our vibes talking about her?
Miss USA was the last contest winner.
Yes,
It's
out of
hilarious.
the blue, huh? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll go with this.
Love it.
It's like, you don't know who's going to actually pop up and ask for those tickets, which is really, really nice.
That's pretty cool. Well, yeah, I was playing at Dazzle last summer, and Miss USA happened to be the winner of the tickets. So she came down to Dazzle, and she did the whole number, man. She put on the sash, and she had that little crown thing, and she came complete with a man to carry all her stuff and to drive her around everywhere. It was so fun having her on, man. I still have the pictures of that. That was cool, man.
That was really, really
So yeah, if you want to win tickets to my show on Saturday night at Full Cycle, keep listening to KUHS, and Henry's gonna be lining up those giveaways between now and Saturday, and probably more than one announcement, I would think.
Yeah, and the thing about what KUHS does is we have push notifications. We go right to your smart device, phone, car, wherever. We let you know about what's going on, so you can't miss us. I mean, if you're missing it, you're not in tune, or you just can't afford a phone.
That's hilarious. Track 15 is Ipanema.
That'll be next.
I
We're
think
on
that's
track
coming. Let's
We're
see.
on track number 8 right now.
Oh, we're on 8. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, beautiful. So, dude, I love the new studios. I think it's fantastic. Happy to see you doing your thing.
Yeah, it's I was wanting you to come down and check it out. So it's so cool, and doing things the right
We got
way.
more room here,
Yes.
and it just has a different feel to it. It's, I think, more relaxed, and certainly a comfy place to stop in. You know what I mean?
Very comfy.
Absolutely.
And having you a part of it is always fun. Everybody's there was somebody here earlier, and they were asking about, you really having Rob Mullins in there. And I go, yeah, what? He's like, come on, give me a break.
No, really, man.
Yeah, so they were actually trying to hang around as long as they could, but they had to go back to work.
Oh,
to
bummer.
actually meet you.
Well, I was sad that I was late, but
Yeah.
it's really, traffic in Colorado is definitely as bad as Los Angeles now, and you just don't know how long something's going to take or whatever's going to happen. And luckily for me, Henry's always flexible and lets me come in when I can. But yeah, man, I love coming on your show. I'll be on anytime. Let's
Yeah, the
next
smoothie
time I
Cash,
go
yeah.
somewhere, let's do it over Zoom.
Yes, we can do the Zoom, or we can actually go. We also started back to doing our remotes, so we take it to
Oh,
you.
nice.
So we take our Osmos and go right into your place there. And with the
Oh,
Osmo.
cool, man.
I'm sure you've seen the Osmos. They're really nice devices.
Yeah, you've got a lot of stuff going on. You were
Yes,
covering 5 points this year.
Yeah, we did 5 points, and we also did an opening over here at the Post Brewing Company.
Oh, cool.
They could use a trio like you, and a big, beautiful place. It's
Wow.
a brewing company. On the side, they have the beer garden,
Uh-huh.
and it's absolutely so cool. They got a stage. If it rains, the place closes up with a garage doors.
This whole neighborhood that you're in,
Yeah.
man, especially heading towards the mountains, it's so green
Yeah, so cool.
and beautiful. And what's that area, Liberty Bell Road or something?
Mhm.
Off to the side there, it's just gorgeous. Really fantastic. Lush and green and beautiful
Mhm.
all the way up into the mountains. And I may explore that a little bit this afternoon, since it looks like my next meeting is not going to happen. So beautiful, man.
Yeah, so in that beer garden, we did a live feed with a band called the Soul Food Band with a 4-piece horn section. There.
Oh.
Came out really nice, and we took the Osmo floating around into the crowd. Really a big crowd at 5 o'clock, from 5 to 9 o'clock. And I thought, doesn't anybody work? But the crowd was there. It's like,
Well, it's an important thing to have live music as part of everybody's life. And you get something from the live players that are playing, and then you being in the audience or nearby, that's more human and more nourishing than anything else. Obviously, of course, listening to music on the radio or your device or in the car, whatever, that is fantastic. But when you're hearing it come out of real speakers, like I've always had people say, I listen to your recordings, even your live recordings, but there's nothing like seeing
Live
you
music.
live.
That's what I was telling you about.
I'm one of those guys. Like, I'm a live artist.
He's taking off. Listen to that. Wow, because I can tell when you take off and go somewhere else. The
Right.
Girl from Ipanema next. So we're going to go ahead and crank this up, okay?
Got it. Oh yeah. Makes you feel like it's Friday happy hour now.
That's right.
Or you're out in, Mazatlan.
Oh, really? In Ipanema?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Really,
Brazil.
Ipanema.
You could be anywhere out there with your beer, your Mai Tai. Hawaii. This music goes really good in Hawaii. This tune does. Classic piano trio, man.
And don't forget, you could be out there at the,
CD release party.
that's right, that's this weekend. You make sure to be, and listen to
This
KUHS.
Saturday.
We're giving away 2 free tickets, but you got to be online to check us out. And we're not gonna tell you when we're gonna do it because we want all these variables, different people.
Keep it random.
Yes, and that's what makes it so cool. So for now, we're gonna keep going with the music on the background so you can hear it. And this is Girl from Ipanema. And we're gonna, if you want to listen to the entire album, finish up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more songs of this album with Rob Mullen. So you want to check that out. That's going to be so fantastic. Only heard here on KUHS, the stream. Rob, anything else you want to say?
Just come down and see me Saturday. Henry, thank you as always. And stay tuned for some free tickets you can win. And the album is called Rob Mullen's Best of the Trio. Thanks,
That's right.
Henry.
So just keep listening right now because we're going to go straight to the radio. It's going to be playing continuously the rest of the 6 songs left.